How do we move beyond conscious positive thinking to really manifest our desires from our subconscious, from our heart? We're going to talk about this today. This is Tom Karen with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, creators. I want to talk about, we've touched on the idea of law of attraction and positive thinking and why we sometimes struggle with that. Well, I wanted to sort of show you more of a picture of this. So here we have an iceberg, and this is a typical representation of the conscious mind and subconscious mind. Keep in mind, this is a very simple representation. It's probably more complicated. I'm sure psychologists and therapists will see this and go, well, it's very simple. But it gives you an idea, because here in our conscious awareness, we have our thoughts and intentions and desires here. But really, guys, where do we really create from? We create from our subconscious. That's where our intuition is. That's where our imagination is. That's where our connection to God is, right? This is where the feelings, emotions, and our beliefs all sit here in the subconscious. So this is why positive thinking many times doesn't work. We can positive think all day long. We can visualize all day long. But unless we're creating from our subconscious, unless our beliefs, emotions, and feelings are in line with those thoughts, support those thoughts and intentions, then we will never create with just positive thinking. This is why positive thinking doesn't work, because if our beliefs are negative, if our emotions and feelings, if we're thinking here we want money, and we're thinking about becoming wealthy, and we're thinking of abundance, and that's our intention, that's even our desire. But if we believe that money, the things that we were programmed to believe, that money doesn't grow on trees, that it's filthy rich isn't good, and we don't deserve it, and we don't have our feelings and emotions lined up for it, then that connection to that creative connection, this is where that heart connection, this is where the electromagnetic energy that connects us to the field of infinite potential. That's what gets transmitted, and that's what we attract. We attract more lack of money, more lack of abundance, more negativity if there's negativity in there. Remember, Neville Goddard said imagination is God. That's Christ. That's where our imagination is. It's in our subconscious mind. That's where we have to create from. Definitely, we still have to have our thoughts and intentions. But then you've got to bring those together with your thoughts, feelings, and your feelings and emotions, and create from the heart. So you can see here, when negative thoughts come up, because if we bury, here's the part two of this, if you want to think about this, and a lot of this came from Reality Unveiled with Ziad Masri does a good job on this. But from the subconscious mind, if we get negative, the other aspect of that, we could think positive thoughts, but then when we have a negative thought, our first instinct is to say, oh, I can't have negative thoughts, and you want to bury it. You want to put it down in the subconscious. You want to get rid of it. This isn't good, because why? Because that's where you're creating from. So the better idea is to bring that negativity. Anytime you have a negative thought, allow it. Bring it up to the conscious level. Don't resist it or bury the negative thoughts. Make those negative thoughts conscious. Unhide them, essentially, guys. Those negative beliefs, what you resist persists, right? So observe them. Wake up. Don't judge them. Observe them. Let them be just as they are, and then let them go. Now you've made them conscious, and you've brought them up from the subconscious to the conscious, and you let them go. Now they're not going to be buried down here to affect your creations. So be with your negative feelings. It's okay, right? It's okay. Don't run from them, because when you run from them, you bury them. This is where you run into problems, because they get buried in that subconscious mind, and they come up as triggers later in any sort of experiences that you have, and they also affect your creating right in your heart. If you have these hidden beliefs, this negativity, or even trauma from childhood, all of that's buried here. If you bring it up, again, observe it. Don't start entertaining it and then rolling around what happened and start putting emotion to it. This is the wrong way, right? There's two ends to it. There's one thinking about it all the time, and wow, how they did me wrong, or the trauma that you went through. And then there's the one thing of burying it and not looking at it at all. Those are the two spectrums. You want to be somewhere in the middle where you're bringing up, you're aware of it, you're with those negative feelings, but you're not thinking of the story behind those negative feelings. You're not rolling that around in your head. You're not keeping that alive, and then you're letting it go. So you bring it up to the conscious mind and then let it go. That's how you handle anything really that's buried in the subconscious, right? It's the only problems we get into is if we bury them and ignore them, run from them, or we keep rolling them, we keep bringing them conscious, and we keep thinking about them and thinking how this person did me wrong, or I went through this, or I'm never going to be good enough, and then you never get rid of them, right? You still have it here, and you still have it here. The best way is bring it all up here. Let it be. Know that it's just thoughts. Those are just beliefs, or just things that you kept thinking. That they're not real in the sense that they are attached to that metaphysical world. They're invisible. You can get rid of those. You can look at them, be aware of them, let them be, right, and then release them. This is the way to do it, guys. Right? It's, again, don't get behind the story of them. Right? This is all. Anything that's not love and compassion is not who you truly are. Right? So the other part of this is when you do have these negative thoughts, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself love and compassion. Forgive yourself, right? Forgive whoever done you wrong. Forgive yourself, and then let it go, right? When you do that, when this is the way, this is really true healing, right? We can't heal if we keep this stuff buried. The only way to heal is bring it up consciously, and then wrap forgiveness and love and compassion around it. Don't start rolling it around in a negative way. Roll it around in love and compassion, and then forgive it completely, and then let it go. Then it doesn't have any influence on you. It doesn't harm you anymore. Yeah? This is the way to do it, guys. This is why we have to go beyond positive thinking, right, to manifest our desires. We've got to feel it. We've got to feel worthy. We've got to feel abundant. We've got to feel healthy if we want health, right? But if we have things buried here, and where this is where imagination, intuition, this is where creation happens, then that's why you struggle and you can't create it, right? These are the things that kind of get glossed over with the law of attraction and cause and effect and so forth. This is very important. The subconscious is that God, that's your connection to God. That's your connection to the metaphysical right here. The stuff you can't see is your connection to the creative power. So this is what you want to attend to most. So yes, have your thought and your attention and your intention of what you want, but then imbue that with the positive feelings of abundance, the positive feelings of worthiness, right? It's just a story you're telling yourself, guys. Even if it happened back in childhood, it's just a story. You don't have to live with it. You don't have to sit with it. You can bring it up. You can forgive it. You can wrap it with love and compassion. Again, don't judge anything as good and bad or right or wrong. Just observe it. Don't judge it, and then let it go, right? It's this sort of, you're like the silent witness. You're like the observer. Observe it, right? Say, that's interesting. And then be with those negative feelings, but then let them go. And now they're not buried in your conscious mind anymore, your subconscious, and now you can get on with creating the life of your dreams and creating all your heart's desire, right? Get that heart and mind lined up and wrapped around it. We'll talk more about this stuff, guys. This is how to move beyond positive thinking to manifest your desires. This is Tom Karen with the Be Something Wonderful Studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment and share our videos. That's how we get our message out, yeah? This is Tom. Until next time. See you soon.